What's up, Nate? How are you?
Fuck you, Cook.
I'm popular over there. Hey, thanks, Moose. Actually, I don't know if you're going to be able to stick around, Moose. Um, I don't have any mods over there. So, I'm not saying you have to watch over there. By no means am I saying that you have to watch over there. But if you're going to be in the stream and I end up getting spammed with that bullshit, so it seems like I'm dropping frames due to network lag. Well, no, I just dropped frames initially. It seems like it's okay. Maybe. I think we're okay. We're healthy. Yeah, yeah. Friend, cook, pal. Yeah. I got all that. I got it. Yeah. I get it. All right, I'm on my way downstairs. My stairs are very creaky. All right, I didn't even think about this when it came down to it. Evening, everybody. Let's edit the actions. Let's get rid of that. I think we can probably get rid of that too. I wish there was a smoother, more efficient way to start the stream. When it comes to doing this, I just wish there was a more efficient way to do it. What's up, Bourbon? All right. So tonight is obviously Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day to anybody who's I mean, I guess happy Valentine's Day to anybody who gives a shit. Tonight we're doing a garlic shrimp stir. Butterfly likes lobster. Unfortunately, we couldn't find whole lobsters, so we bought a couple of lobster tails. We bought a couple of lobster tails that were frozen yesterday. We went to the grocery store yesterday, so we'll be doing a couple of broiled lobster tails, which actually reminds me I need to put a little butter on to render down. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what I mean. It felt kind of awkward, right? Why not criticize how I fucking stream and sit there and watch it, dick? I don't know what my thought was, by the way. This is how I talk, dick. I don't know if you realize this or not, but I don't know if you realize this or not, HC, but Walmart doesn't actually produce lobster tails. Believe it or not, the ocean does that. Most particularly, in this case, it would be the Atlantic Ocean, which produces the lobster tails. They just happen to stock and store them. Lobster tails, relatively speaking, are not something that you're going to find. Like, you're not going to get an ugly ass piece of ribeye or a really nice Kobe beef ribeye. I mean, a lobster tail's a lobster tail, HC. It's pretty much just how God made them. Right. Crumbles in Maine. Right. So we are doing Butterfly likes lobster. I wasn't able to find a whole lobster, so we did some lobster tails, and we are also going to be doing a garlic stir-fried shrimp with pineapple fried rice. That's going to be my meal. I have bread starting to. They are bourbon. It is actually HC, but and you know, it's I just realized where you live, HC, and you should well know. Never mind. I'm not getting into this with you. And it's too early for this shit, HC. I've slept 3.5 hours and I've been live for 5 minutes, and you're already fucking yapping. Anyway, I've got bread proofing. Butterfly. So the only thing Butterfly usually wants for Valentine's Day is. You're okay, Bourbon. It's HC. He always comes in. Never mind. I've got the bread already. I don't know, rising. The bread is already rising. It's probably gonna be about 5 minutes, and I'll have to pull it and let it rest for another 60 minutes before we go ahead and roll it out and put it in. So in the meantime, I'm going to melt the butter for the lobster tails, and we're gonna prep up. Most of this is gonna be vegetable prep. The lobster tails, I'll split these open and I'll show you guys how to do this. The garlic shrimp is for me. Alexa, stop the timer. Bread. We're just making baguettes again. Proofing. It's not technically proofing yet, right? That's the last step. I don't know. I'm not a baker, bro. I'm not a baker. I'm a cook. This bread thing is new to me. I bought the stuff to make pumpernickel, and I did that last week, and I didn't love it. I may have made a mistake by trying to put the by trying to make them in rolls. I probably should have just made the lobster. I probably should have just made the pumpernickel. Like, I should have made a whole loaf, but I tried to make rolls. And I didn't adjust the cook time for that, and I think I probably should have, but... All right, so... yeah, basically we're going to do quite a bit of prep here. I love stir fries. I love shrimp. Got a bag of shrimp here. We have some day-old rice as well. The way I've been told, the way Uncle Roger says, and I'm only half trolling when I say that, it's literally 100% Uncle Roger is the first place I ever heard this. But the best place to make, or the best thing to use to make fried rice is day-old rice. You need it to be leftover rice for some reason. I don't really know why, but that's what Uncle Roger says. So Butterfly made rice for dinner the other day, and I'm using that leftover rice to make the pineapple fried rice today. It's funny watching. It's funny, Uncle Roger. Everybody's anti-MSG. He's like, why complicate it? Just make it taste good. I don't know if he's trolling or if he just doesn't care about MSG. I'm going to be honest with you. I've only heard bad things about MSG. I've never done my research to figure it out. I've never really given a shit. I've never cared. right. I got the shrimp out and rinsed it off. I'm not a fan of every recipe I look up for this type of thing. And I mean, even shrimp scampi. When you watch somebody make a shrimp scampi professionally, or in the even in the restaurant world, and I never really understood this because there's so much valuable meat inside that little pinch of tail that's in there. But when I'm eating it, I don't want to deal with eating that tail. So these are already peeled and deveined, except for the tail. So I'm going to come through and I'm just going to pinch the tails off and get rid of them because I don't like to deal with trying to pull these tails off when they're covered with sauce and I'm eating them. There's so much meat in the little pinch of tail. Good comms. We can add that to the quote list, by the way. Hey, hey Moose, will you go ban that stupid racist fuckstick who's trying to get me to say some dumb shit in an attempt to get me fucking canceled or banned over in Kick, please? Also, as a word of advice there, Yusuf, grow up, dickhead. Sorry, I have intolerance for that. I have intolerance for fucking stupid people. Right, anyway, so I'm going to peel off the tail of the shrimp. I don't like having them in my, I don't like having them in my meal. I don't like trying to deal with it. Can I answer? Can you, I'm going to, yeah. Yeah, I can answer. Typically, so here's the thing, Bourbon, typically I would. I'm sorry, I'm trying to figure this out. Typically I would. For whatever reason, I want the messages deleted. I want the message deleted from my fucking chat too. I don't want that shit there. And on this, I don't have, there's my mod icons. There we go. Okay. Yep, go ahead and say something else fucking stupid. Hey, Vinny Vidalovich, thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, just because you live in Washington doesn't make you any less of a racist fucking cocksucker. Or at least somebody who's not intelligent enough to read the room and understand that saying things like that and attempting to get people to say things like that is just, I don't know, dumb. Is that because you're black? Yes. Yes. By the way, yes, 100%. You fucking idiot. Moose, please. Bourbon, I've tried to set up bots for this, by the way, and I don't know how to, What's up, Dan? I am doing fantastical. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. Guys, I'll be right back. I'm going to go deal with him. Sorry, chat. Sean, anytime you need to ban somebody over there, it's /ban and then their username. I'm going to be honest with you, Dan. I feel like it's not. I wouldn't. Okay, anyway. we've got the tails peeled off the shrimp, so I'm going to go ahead and put these in there. When it comes to reserving the tails, I typically would. The only reason I don't, so we have a small little box freezer in there, and it's basically full. It is always kicked, that's the issue. YouTube's fine. YouTube's great, actually. I know, Benny. I know. On some level, I should almost just shut it off when it comes to the restream thing. I still don't know the third platform that I would use. I don't think I can restream to Rumble. I don't know if you've heard me talking about this. What's up, Nordiques? On some level, I agree, bro. I'm annoyed with it. I can't figure out how to get the bots to stop coming through. It seems like they're the only ones that come through. I haven't put a tremendous amount of effort into any of it, though. Like setting up alerts, any of that shit over there. I'm trying to wait until I get fiber so that I can really set up with Stream Elements through the multi-stream platform that Stream Elements has integrated into OBS, because that's obviously ideal. As good as Restream is, it's just not as efficient, and it's just not as streamlined as Stream Elements would be. I have no idea about the Ukraine videos that you're talking about. No, the word Ukraine is blocked because, again, people are socially inept, Dan. And so during the escalation of all of that, people were coming in and saying, go Ukraine, or saying, go Russia. And, I mean, it's the same thing with fucking Palestine and Israel. My chat's not the place to talk about any of this bullshit. So I tend to, I block words to try and prevent conversations. You haven't done anything wrong, Dan. I don't care. It's just that I try to prevent those things from happening. I don't even need to order the fiber, Froggy. They're just going to deliver it straight to me. Benny, thank you very much for the 340 stream streak, brother. I appreciate it. All right, back to the food. Let's get on to the food. Well, no, real quick for the restream thing. Once I can get it streamlined and I get on fiber, I hope that I'm going to have internet capable of delivering a multi-stream without having to worry about any degradation of quality. And once I'm able to do that, I was thinking that I would restream to Rumble. And here's the interesting thing, Bourbon. I think it was you that told me that they don't really have any gaming going on over there for the most part. Like, they don't have a big gaming thing. And I realized that on the surface level, that might actually seem like a bad thing, but I think that there's a potential for that to be a good thing. Because it means that the market's not saturated on that platform. So if somebody new is over there trying to watch and see something, and they want to look at gaming, I could be one of the eyes. If I start streaming over there, it could be one of the eyes. It could be good. It could be good. And if not, if it's not costing me anything to do so and I'm streaming over there, then who cares? Right, back to the food. I don't really use enough seafood. I would have to save shrimp shells forever in order to actually get great quality. I need such an amount, and it would be so long. I don't have a tremendous amount of space. As it is, I try to save the bones. I try to save the bones off of any beef that we go throughout the year. And typically Super Bowl Sunday, we end up having a prime rib. And I would cook down the stock. I would cook down the bones to make the au jus, and we would end up having prime rib on Super Bowl Sunday. Obviously, with the move this year and everything, a lot of the things that we would have done, it's just kind of shifted. So throughout the course of this year, I will be saving things like that. I also do the same thing when it comes to chicken stock, but we just don't use that much shellfish and that much seafood to justify it. I've never had fiber before myself, Froggy. All right, so real quick, I'm going to go ahead and break these lobsters. I'm going to go ahead and cut these lobsters open. All you need to do this is a pair of kitchen shears that I have no idea where they're at. Hey, Google, set a timer for 60 minutes. I do know where they're at. Sorry for moving you guys. So, prepping the lobster tails. What's up, Debbie? So, prepping the lobster tails is actually way easier. I know it might be intimidating. As much as I would like to do this in an ultra sanitary fashion, I'm just going to go ahead and do it right here. So take a pair of kitchen shears and go straight down the middle. Just tuck the scissors right into the hole on the front there. Go straight down the middle. Go all the way through the last, I don't know what this is called technically, but go all the way through the last part. And then cut a V. And cut a V. I don't know if you can see that very well. I'll show you after we're done. And then crack the shell in your hands. What you're doing is cracking the underside, because this is also hard underneath of it. So crack it underneath. Once it's done, go ahead and give it a little pressure, and then take your 2 fingers, run them under the start here, underneath on the bottom side of it. Continue to hold with good pressure, and just kind of nuzzle it out as you pull all the way down. Flip the little V notch that you cut. That's just going to sit on top. You pull this out, set it down. Another thing that you're going to want to do, and I'll show you this when I'm done. The reason that you're going to do this, you're going to score the underside of the lobster tail. The reason that you're going to score the underside of the lobster tail is to try to prevent it from curling up when it's cooking in the oven. Nobody wants to have a lobster tail that looks like a piece of shrimp. What's up, Joe? Hi, Dane. How are you, Dane? What a unique name that is, Joe. What's up, Arrow? How are you? All right, so on the back of the tail, again, on the back of the tail, I can't really see the camera preview, guys, so I apologize. On the back of the tail, though, there are these lines right here. And when I do this, what I try to do is on a diagonal, just gently, no pressure. You don't want to cut through the lobster tail. You don't want it to fall into pieces. You don't want it to fall apart in the oven. But you want to cut through each one of those veins. Or each one of those, I don't know. It's like a muscle fiber. I don't really know what it's called, technically speaking. But you want to cut through those. And the tail is still going to shrink up, but it'll stop the curling. This is the best thing that I can say to like give you a parallel is, if you've ever made pork chops and you've seen how the pork chop curls up inside of it curls up into like a curved cup, the thing that you can do is cut that exterior piece of muscle fiber. It's a fat layer, but if you give it a little cut on the outside of it, it stops that surface tension from pulling it all together, the outer tension from pulling it all together. Oh my God, tight. Jesus, man. I'm going to wash my hands real quick. I know it seems dumb, but I'm washing my hands because I'm about to reach in to grab a plate. So that I can put these right back in the fridge. But so, again, basically, I don't know if you can see it really well, but I basically cut those fibers down, so it should stop the curling process from happening. Another thing, to keep the tail from falling over in the oven, when you set it down on the sheet pan, you'll spread the tail out. And then just give it a little, I don't know if you could hear that, but it cracked. You're just popping the tail down. Keeping that tail spread out like that will help prevent it from flopping all over the place, as well as it just looks better presentation-wise on the plate. At the end of the day, when you go to plate it up, it just looks better. We're not going to cover these because we're going to use them after. Anyway, if I was leaving them in there for more than 20, 30 minutes, then I would. And now I got to wash my hands and my knife in the counter. Now that the seafood's prepped and ready to go, we're going to start prepping. This is a lot of knife work. I wish I had something better to tell you than this is a lot of knife work, but that's the reality of this meal. As I looked at it, I was hoping I could do something else, and I just couldn't think of anything else to do that. Like, I felt like anything else that I made, if I was to try and make wontons or Crab rangoons, as somebody else had suggested a while back. I don't even think crab rangoons really goes with the meal, if I'm going to be honest with you. But if I was to have tried to make something else, I feel like I would have had to have made so much of it off stream just to give us another 20 minutes of something to do. So, bottom line, I didn't do it. So the meal today is actually pretty simple, and even the meal prep is pretty simple. It's just a lot of knife work. The lobster came from the water, no washing needed. I don't know. I do wash my hands religiously when it comes to cooking. We used to work with Moose. I don't know if you remember this. I can't even think of what his name was. He was a big guy. It was in Cedars. We used to work with a guy. I can't remember his name. He was Latino. He lived in Norwich there, but he used to fucking wear 8 layers of gloves. He would come in and he would just put 8 layers of gloves on. And he would always run his mouth about the fact that I wouldn't wear gloves. And if you touched his tongs an hour into the day, his tongs would be so loaded with shit and gross because he had so many gloves on. He didn't think he needed to fucking wash his hands. Gloves are not a substitute for washing your hands, by the way. Just so everybody's aware. You still gotta wash your fucking hands when you wear gloves. I wanted to use a fucking hand towel to do this, and it's not going to let me use a hand towel to do this. So I've got a cucumber. That's going to be for the salad. Got a bunch of tomatoes. I wish that I had the ability to grab some things like some Thai chilies. But I've just not something that I'm going to find in the area, unfortunately. Unorganized fridge. It'll be okay, Sean. I can't keep my fridge organized 100%. You're like 100,000% full disclosure. I organize the fridge. 2 days later, the fridge is disorganized. I organize the fridge. 2 days later, it's disorganized. I can't, okay? It's just one of those things that I don't bother trying to do because if I do it, it'll drive me fucking bananas. I would love for the fridge to be organized. Don't fucking tell me what to do. Yeah, no shit, huh, Dan? So, because I couldn't find any Thai chilies, I just went with some serranos. There's nothing inherently wrong with it. It's still a spicy pepper. I just would have preferred to have some Thai chili peppers. And because I'm never do this well, but I'm gonna try to make sure that I don't prep too much vegetables. I always suck at this though. I always make way more, but I'm the only one eating the fried rice and the stir fry. So we're washing the veggies. We have snow peas, by the way, or sugar snap peas. Sorry. We have snap peas, by the way. I like snap peas, so we're going to use a lot of them. Put the tomatoes in here. Celery. I'm just going to put everything in a bowl. We're going to fill it up with water. I'm going to agitate the shit out of it. I mean, she doesn't give, like, public reviews of them, Dan. She doesn't give public reviews of them, but whoever decided ant bugs was a good thing, HC, I've got problems with that. Like, I love celery, and I'll eat celery raw, and I don't even mind celery with peanut butter on it. But isn't an ant log celery with peanut butter? This bok choy is in horrific state. Isn't that celery with peanut butter and raisins? Isn't that what that is? She'll tell you guys that that she likes the food or she doesn't. The favorite thing that I make for her is steak. She's at work, by the way. So we're having a garden salad, by the way. It's nothing crazy. It's just going to be like some green leaf lettuce with some cucumber and some tomato, some store-bought dressing. I make a dressing here or there that I love. I like to make homemade Caesar. I asked Butterfly if she wanted that. She said no. I also like, I do this, I don't even know what to call it, but I do this dressing with red wine vinegar. Corey with the raid. Let's go, Corey. Thank you very much, brother. I appreciate it. I saw that you were playing earlier. How were your games? I'm going to be off camera for a second. We're washing the veggies. Thank you very much for the raid, Corey. Lost my train of thought. Oh, there's one in particular where I mince up some onions, some garlic, and some cilantro, and I do that with some red wine vinegar and some olive oil, and I use a little bit of cumin and adobo, and it's got a great like Spanish flavor to it. Thank you, Corey. I hope you feel better, brother. Thank you very much for the raid and the resub. Does that say 27? Thank you for the 27-month resub, brother. I appreciate the fuck out of you. I'm grabbing onions in case you guys are wondering what the hell is happening here. On the back of the house, at some point, they added an addition. It is a, it's where our laundry room is, but we also have a little pantry cabinet back there. What's up, Sheffy? How are we, sir? Chevy, I think you already know what the menu is, but for anybody coming in, anybody new to the channel or anybody that's just hopping in, we're making broiled lobster tails for Butterfly. I'm making some French baguette because she wanted to have some bread with it. I actually don't, and she wants a salad, so it's lobster tails and salad for her. She wanted a full lobster. Couldn't get a full lobster out here. Not without driving an hour. Not worth it. And I'm making a garlic shrimp stir fry over pineapple fried rice. We do this every other Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern, by the way. For anybody that's interested, anybody that wants to come back and watch the next one. I don't know what we're doing yet. We kind of decide as the week plays out. Later, HC. All right, the first thing I'm going to cut is going to be the carrots, actually. The reason I'm cutting the carrots first is because I'm going to cut carrots 2 ways. And carrots are probably the hardest thing in the kitchen I think I've ever had to cut, outside of maybe something like a butternut squash. Butternut squash is also up there, just because it's so hard. What's up, Stormy? All right. So I'm cutting carrots 2 ways. One, because I want them in the stir fry, but I also want them in the pineapple fried rice. So in the pineapple fried rice, I'm going to cut them 1 way, which is smaller. I'm debating on whether or not I should cook these off a little bit. Like, I feel like I should boil some water and just kind of steep them a little bit, just to tenderize them a little bit. Stormy with the resub for 19 months. Thank you very much. Turnip is a bitch too, Chefy. It's those, I think though, I don't think a carrot would be that bad if it wasn't shaped the way that it is, which is part of the reason that we end up cutting them the way that we do, which is to create a flat spot or cut them in half, obviously. And then the tip ends of them end up being so small. So for the stir fry itself, I would like to have uniform, perfect little squares. But because of how carrots are shaped, it's insanely difficult to do so. And I could do so, but I'm not going to throw away I'm not going to throw away as much carrot as it would require me to do. Or scrap as much carrot as it required me to do. As you can see, I'm being more deliberate about how I cut the carrot here than I would normally, or than you've seen me cut in the past. The reason for that... I need another carrot. The reason for that is that this is going to get thrown in the bottom. This is going to get thrown in the bottom of the saute pan when I come to make the fried rice. And so it's going to be cooked along with garlic, some diced red pepper. And I don't want it to not cook. And I definitely don't want one piece here or one piece there to not cook. I want it to cook as evenly as possible. So I'm being very deliberate about how I cut them right now. Fucking hate carrots, bro. A wok on an electric stove? No, I don't have a wok. Side note about the wok. I have a wok. It's for a gas stove. I did not get rid of the wok when we moved in here. I told Butterfly I wanted to get a gas stove. I wanted to convert to a gas stove. She likes electric. Not going to argue with her. I'm not going to fight with her. It's not even some happy wife, happy life shit. I'm just not going to... It just is what it is. She does the majority of the cooking. Because she does the majority of the cooking on that level, it's hers. What's up, Mexican? How are you? Exactly. That's I would agree. The same thing when it comes to that, because it's not just gas, by the way. Anybody that's worked in a professional kitchen, and some of you guys that haven't may understand this and may know this. There are the thing that heats a wok, I think, is as close as you can get to an actual fucking jet engine as you can without being a jet engine. The amount of fucking BTUs. What up, Gunner? Yeah, the amount of... We are making Valentine's dinner. Well, sorta. Butterfly's dinner is lobster tails, and she wants fresh bread. That's rising. Lobster tails, fresh bread, and a garden salad. So nothing crazy. She wanted lobster. We can't get a whole lobster. And myself, I'm making a garlic shrimp stir fry with a pineapple fried rice. Exclamation mark recipe will tell you what all the commands are to tell you what we're cooking. If you want to cook it later in the future, if you want to cook along, if you want to save the information, whatever it is.
Hello, motherfucker.
But yes. So I've just cut a pretty consistent dice over here on the carrots. As uniform as I give a shit to actually try to cook, or to try and cut. I think I'm going to get Actually, we're going to do this. I'm going to have to move you guys again. I thought I prepped up everything and I didn't. I'm sorry. Sorry, guys. One more time. We move you. I think we should be good back. Are we where we need to be, camera-wise? Sean, you know, I hadn't thought about that, but that's actually a great fucking idea, by the way. Mr. Twister, I apologize. Mr. Twister, I've done very limited streaming to Kick. And I haven't figured out what bot to use over there, and I'm not fully invested in trying to succeed on Kick yet. I don't know. It seems like more of a hassle than it's worth. So if you wanted the recipe command, I can either have, I believe if I have chat put it in on Twitch, it'll pop up in Kick. I could be mistaken, but it's on Twitch. Twitch is where you're going to find it. I apologize, though. Maybe anybody over here you get it off Twitch? Thank you very much, Mr. Twister. I appreciate you being willing to come by. All right, so I've also sliced these up pretty good. I'm not doing too many again. I'm the only one that's eating the stir fry. So I even have way too big of a pan. What I'm going to do here to soften these carrots up is I'm going to put some water on the boil. And as soon as that water comes up to a boil, I'm going to pour it over the carrots and just let the carrots rest in that hot liquid. So we're not actually going to cook the carrots. We're just going to kind of soften them up and tenderize them a little bit. Sean, thank you very much. Oh, I don't even know. Oh, I do know. Water chestnuts. I don't think I put anything else in here. All right, so the carrots are cut. I cut 2 onions. I mean, I pulled 2 onions out of here, but I don't think I need 2 onions. Stormy, you're playing again? Or are you playing again for a week? Okay. Okay, Storm. That's not what... All right, Storm. You know what, Storm? You're right. That's exactly why I did it. And I'm going to be honest with you. I've done 8 of these IRL streams, and I've never bent over until this very moment. It was because you were in this one. I bent over just for you, Storm. Just for you, bro. We're not doing hot tub streams. We're not doing hot tub streams. Never going to happen. I'm going to cut up onions 2 ways. Again, the fried rice is going to be diced. And in the stir fry, it'll be julienne. Looking for pretty even and consistent cuts here too. We don't want anything to be uncooked when it comes to this. This is all going to go into the bottom of the pan to start. We're going to throw it in there. We're going to throw the carrots in there first, and then we'll throw the onion and garlics about a minute behind that. Just to give the carrots a chance to get started. So... $1,000. How the hell would you pull off a cooking hot tub stream? That's also anybody who's cooking without fucking clothes on is insane. I love these little Pyrex bowls, by the way, for this. We have Butterfly bought these so long ago. We don't really use them, but for the cooking stream purposes, I just think they're fantastic, and I wish I had more of them. Yeah, how scarred up is your body? Yeah, how scarred up is your body? I mean, if we look at my arms, the burn scars from the grease pops and fucking, how scarred up is your fucking chest, Stormy? A grilling hot tub stream? I'm not having this conversation, Sean. I'm not having this conversation. I don't know if I showed you guys peppers before. I can't think. I think maybe we did when I made the pico because I like to put a pepper in. I don't do anything complicated. Cut them in half. Cut them in half and then just rip out the stems. Just rip out the top. Rip out the ribs. Get all the seeds out. There's times, Dan, where you just have to ignore you guys, bro. And you know, I'm cutting off the ends of them so that it'll lay flatter. And I'm going to cut out the ribs, taking as little of the meat as I can. I know it's not technically called meat. Flesh of the veg. This is also going to be a 2-cut thing. We're going to do a little bit of dice for the rice here. We're going to... I love you guys. I do. I appreciate you guys. Be careful. I don't know if you guys saw that twice now. My knife is sharp, but as you can tell, when it decides it wants to go through the pepper, it goes through the pepper. Don't cut towards yourself. Be smart. Don't do like me. We're going to julienne these. I'm going to dice these. These are going to go into the rice. These are going to be for the julienne. Again, we want these to be as even as you can. So if you have to go slower, by all means do so. Don't try to move with the knife like I am, unless you know what you're doing. Bro, I'm not fucking pronouncing the E. I don't know why you're spelling it like that, as though you want me to fucking say it like that. Very few. I don't know if I showed you this before, Dan. I don't know if you've been here for this before, but we'll go over the knife handling proper. The water is boiling, by the way. The way that you hold your knife, we're not doing a house tour. Not a chance. The way that you hold your knife is very, very, very important. The way that you hold your other hand is also very, very important. Well, I don't think I've ever seen you cut yourself either, Sean. Now that's not to say that it didn't happen. By the way, when it first came to learning how to use the knife, and I'm going to do my best to show you guys this. I can't see. There's a very small like slice scar right there. I actually think I have a knuckle scar right there as well. So I don't have to think about it, much like I would argue that Moose doesn't have to think about it anymore either. but the way that you hold your knife is important. I don't know how much this varies from person to person based on your hand skills, based on your hand strength, based on your grip, based on the type of knife that you're doing. But for me in particular, there's a very important feature of holding the knife. And most people are probably going to think that you hold the knife like this. This is the way that you hold a knife. This is wrong. This is not how you should hold a knife. You're going to tuck the knife into the... Can't see. I want to make sure that you guys can see me. So you're going to want to tuck the knife into the, literally the last joint on your index finger. You're going to tuck the knife into your there. You're going to bend your index finger over and you're going to press your thumb into it. And then you grip the knife with the rest of, you grip the handle with the other 3 fingers, right? This gives you that stability. This is why the knife doesn't move side to side. This is why there's no, this is how you get ultimate control out of the knife. This is it right here. And then, this is how you hold your hand. This is how you hold your hand. Your thumb is pushing. This is why you don't cut your thumb off, because your thumb's always behind your index fingers, or the thumb's always behind the fingers. And again, I don't have to think about this anymore. This is just the way my hand goes automatically, and I push things through. Or on some level, but you get the idea that we're pushing it through. And the knife is always being guided off of the front of your fingers. So you may shave a knuckle, but you're never going to cut your fingers off, because but again, that's years and years and years in practice. That's thousands of fucking pounds of onions being julienned. Sorry, I couldn't see chat just then. What's up, Hunger? How are you? What about Julie? I don't know anything about Julie. Who are we talking about? Storm? Who are we talking about? So, by the way, if I wanted to, I could easily take those juliennes and I could turn those into this perfect dice that I'm looking for. But we're just gonna rough chop the butts, the tops, and the bottoms of the peppers here, just to utilize the entire pepper. I don't mind that it's a little inconsistent. I like a little bit of crunch when it comes to the pepper. I like that freshness that a pepper brings to the table. I respect it. I understand being tired from work. So, here's the julienne, by the way. The length isn't as important as having a pretty consistent width. You want consistent width. The length, as I said, it's not going to matter too much. Croatia, huh? How is the weather out there? It's cold as shit in Croatia, isn't it? What do you mean, no uniformity? The hell are you talking about, no uniformity? I literally just showed you, and shut up, Sean. We actually just had more snow yesterday, by the way. It was about an inch and a half. I had to shovel it when I woke up this morning. It was overnight. What do we have left? We have some bok choy. We have the cucumber. Okay, Sean. This is the serrano pepper, by the way. I mean, it's my old jacket, Ty. It's my old chef coat, bro. Again, this is the same as the bell peppers, by the way. This is the same as the bell peppers. I'm going to cut these very fine. I would like these to be... I don't really want to bite into a piece of spicy pepper. Ideally, the spicy pepper is just going to be incorporated throughout the dish. And I need to sharpen my knife. It's just going to be throughout the dish. And it'll basically kind of dissolve in. This is going to be a very, very fine... I'm going to end up mincing this to fucking shit. Usually like to cook. I appreciate that, Pongra. Thank you. I'm glad you're here. We do this every other Friday, Pongra. 5 p.m. Eastern. I have no idea what that is for you, unfortunately. I could tell you what that is for UK time. That's 11 p.m. for them. I don't know. So 11 p.m. in England. Whatever that is for you is what time I go live. Every other Friday. So the next one, I'm not sure what the date on the next stream will be. Midnight? So March 28th will be the next one. We don't know what we're making yet. What's up, Sicky? We don't know what we're making yet. I usually decide that over the next week or so. I look at chat. I look at what community suggested is. By the way, if you want to add suggestions as well, if you want to add something that you'd like me to do, as long as it's not too expensive, we'll pull it off. If it is expensive and you really want it to be done and you're willing to work out how to get the ingredients to me, we can talk about it. But as a for instance, not only do I know that I'm not going to be able to find Kobe beef local to me, I can't afford to buy Kobe beef. That'd be like a once every other year type of thing that I could do. So, I mean, if you wanted to work it out, I'd be willing to use it. But so outside of things like that, I'm pretty much taking care of I'm pretty much hooking the bill for it, and I'm fine with that. But we can do pretty much anything you guys want. I don't have cooking experience when it comes to all kinds of things, but I'm capable of learning how to do all of it. I've never made this dish before. Not once have I ever made this before. So I just have an understanding of the basics of cooking. I would say a pretty good knowledge of the basics of cooking. So I'm willing to look up and do research and investigate what I need to do and figure out the ingredients that I need to get to put things together to make it happen. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you, Sean. If it comes to me using something like Kobe, I'd be willing to do it as just like a... What is it? Is it... Forgive me if I'm confusing or crossing up dishes, but I've seen the shows on... I've seen the videos on YouTube. Is it like teppanyaki or something like that? Where basically in the hibachi, they take the very small piece of it and it's a very... I don't... clean is the word that comes to mind when I've seen these videos, but it's a very sanitary and clean preparation of it. It just seems so fucking high, fancy, fine dining type of thing. But I mean, they basically just cook it up. It's very slow. They're very deliberate about every move that they make, every knife skill, and then they set it down and like it's so simple and fucking straightforward, bro. All right. The tomatoes. I'm putting tomatoes in the rice as well. There is a Thai restaurant that opened up around where I used to live in Connecticut. I don't know. That's my only experience of Thai food. But they had a pineapple fried rice. And I loved it. It had tomatoes in it. I'm going to put some tomatoes in my pineapple fried rice. We're also having a salad, so I'm going to just dice these up. Nothing crazy. Just going to dice them up. Relatively decent sized chunks. I'll add these into the pineapple fried rice at the very end. Yeah, I don't know. I could just be confusing the term teppanyaki or teppanyaki with something else completely, Sean. I'm not 100% certain. I don't know, bro. I got a new plate, by the way. Sheffy, are you here? Are you going to be here at the end? I can show you the plate. I got a plate just for the cooking streams. Just a nice, clean, white plate. It's got a slight curve to it, but I wouldn't call it a coupe. I know we've talked about it. I'm not a big fan of taking pictures of food. I make food to eat, not to fucking look at. And listen, Sicky, we're not here to judge, bro. You're in a safe place, Sicky. You're in a safe place. The bok choy here, I don't know if you guys were with me last night, but I said the bok choy doesn't look like it's in the greatest condition. And I mean, it's not. I love this part of the bok choy. Just I love this part of the cabbage. I love the lettuce. I love the ribby parts of romaine. I think you get some of the best flavor from those types of things. I'm just going to rough shop this, though. Doesn't really matter. This stuff it's seen better days. Just say that. By the way, when I looked up like a shrimp stir fry, they actually had like broccoli with asparagus, and I just had asparagus last week or something like that, and so I'm not opposed to doing it. But the point that I'm getting to is I'm using the ingredients that I'm using because it's what I wanted to have in my meal. When it comes to a stir fry, there's a lot of versatility to the ingredients. You can put whatever you want. I mean, you really can. I say this about food anyways. I think there are the basic fundamental principles, things that shouldn't be done. Like, I don't know. I try to think of the most outlandish shit that you can. I don't know, strawberries with fucking chocolate and fucking caviar. Right? There's stupid shit that you just probably shouldn't do. But I do think that there's a lot of creative license, and everybody's palate is different. Nutmeg and cheese sauce. There's things that you just shouldn't do. I would actually make a strong argument that says you probably should be careful about putting garlic in cheese sauce, because you're probably going to end up making the cheese. It's just two very, very strong flavors that are going to fight each other. But again, that could be just be my flavor, my palate. It could just be my palate. So I'm just going to give these on a little bit of a bias. I know that nutmeg is in the bechamel. I don't make a cheese sauce with bechamel. Are you making cheese sauce with bechamel? Because you said cheese sauce. Because I'm not making a bechamel. I don't even know if that's the right way to make it. The right way to make it.
What's on the menu tonight, Twins K?
What's up, Glizak? We are making shrimp stir fry, a garlic shrimp stir fry with pineapple fried rice, broiled lobster tails for butterfly with fresh baguettes. Baguette. I don't care what you guys think about how I fucking pronounce that, by the way. Benny, Clark, I don't care. It's Friday. It's the other Friday. Bam, bam. All good, all good. All right. The only thing I don't have cut now is my cucumber. Good learning lesson right there. Good learning lesson right there. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to read. I'm going to go back and wash the knife here in a second. But opportunity to fucking teach somebody something. Not only should you not catch it with your foot, you shouldn't reach out and try to catch the knife. Once I knew the knife was off the counter, you saw what I did, right? Step back. Don't try to catch a knife. The knife is going to fucking open your hand up. It'll open your foot up. It'll stab straight through your foot. Step back. Don't try to catch a fucking falling knife, ever. It's not worth the knife. If the tip of the knife sticks in the floor and snaps it off, then you got a new knife. And it's better than fucking 17 stitches in your fucking hand. Or losing a finger. Yeah, we're not catching the knife. Chuck Norris is a pussy. I said it. By the way, I'm just joking. I think Chuck Norris is the only action hero that we've never seen debunk videos about whether or not he could actually do it. Him and Bruce Lee. Glizak, I've done this a few times, and I'm going to be honest with you. The second time I made it was, every time I've made it, it's been a little bit different. There's been a different experience. And I from what I know about baking, it is very, very scientific, and things are very, very important. Everything that you can think of is very important to how the bread works, to baking works. The temperature of the room, the ambient temperature of the room, the temperature of the water, how well the yeast rises because of that. There are so many factors that are so overkneading the bread overkneading the dough will cause it to react in a different way. The first time I did it, the crust was too hard and I didn't like it. Second time we did it, I put ice water in there and I changed the temperature. I cooked it at a lower temperature for the first like 3/4 of the cook time, and then I turned it up to the original temperature. On that one, I pulled it out of the oven and I cut into it too soon, and it hadn't had time, and the bread was gummy where I had cut into it. Now the rest of the loaf was fine after I let the bread fully cool off, but don't beat yourself up. Baking is very, 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 very fucking particular, and just understand that you're probably going to waste some ingredients in learning how to do it. I'm not going to lie, Sean. You saying that effectively reads like you telling me to shut the fuck up. And it's really not. You're not the only person here. So frankly, I don't care. You're going to see or hear it 1,000 times more. I mean, it reads different when you're in the call with me than it does when I'm sitting here doing a cooking stream trying to talk to people and maybe inform people about what's happening, bro.
Is it harder than making a cake?
All right. We got to get the lettuce. I got to think where I'm at. It might be about time to start cooking. What's JCVD? I don't know what JCVD is. I actually need water. Thank you. Ginger. I forgot I had ginger. Oh, the pineapple too. I'm just going to put a little bit of ginger in the fried rice. And we're going to make the sauce. That's what's next. We're going to make the sauce next, by the way. I see now. I get it now. Jean-Claude Van Damme. I don't think I've seen people abbreviate his name like that before. I guess the context clues would have told me that we were talking about Jean-Claude Van Damme, though, if I was paying attention. Gonna get a mixing bowl, and then we're gonna make up the sauce. Alexa, how much time on the timer?
Timer set.
Shit! What's up, Only? How are you? I don't actually have a grater, by the way. And I'm not well versed in Asian food. I don't know if that's something they would typically do or not. Full disclosure. I don't want tons of ginger, Sean. Moose. I don't want tons of ginger. It's obviously you can see I made very, very little ginger. That ginger, even though I just put it in the fridge, is probably not going to get used. 100%. It's probably not going to get used. It'll be basically the only thing I've used ginger for. Yeah. I think I used ginger in the curry dish. The butter chicken, I think. I actually bought something hoping that it would be a good zester, and it's not. Okay. Sauce. So, do I have beer? Yes, I have beer. but I'm not drinking. I don't have. I just have ingredients here, by the way. Typically speaking, when I say typically, I mean typically to myself. I just have an ingredients list here. So, the stir fry did not call. That's what else I'm missing. The stir fry didn't call for oyster sauce, but the rice did. So I'm gonna do that, by the way. I think it's called a microplane, isn't it, Sean? Moose? It's called a microplaner, isn't it? Am I wrong? I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I don't know. I can't look it up. It's very, very finely minced only. I'm not adding a ton of it. I hate this fucking garlic. The garlic is the problem, by the way. The garlic is 100% the problem. Fuck all those things. Fuck mandolins. Fuck mandolins. Fuck all those things that you fucking... All those things that you set on an angle and you run like that. No, I don't want them. Fuck all of them. They're all knuckle shavers. No, you're high.
Welcome. Come on in. Have a seat.
Devify, thank you very much for the follow. How you doing tonight, Devify? Hey, you just reminded me of something. How many times? So, is it only you're in the UK, right? What's up, Edge? What are you having for dinner, Dev? Ribs? Love to hear it. Pork or beef? In case you're wondering why I grabbed a different board, I'm about to cut a pineapple on this board as well. I'm about to cut a pineapple on this board, and I don't want the garlic to ruin it. No, no. What I was getting at was I don't know if your plastic wrap comes in a similar, like there's a big fucking, I don't know, it's like a 6-inch by 6-inch box. And it's got like the graded spiked edge of fucking death. When you're trying to fucking wrap up the kitchen at the end of the night, you go to slam the fucking plastic over so you can fucking make that nice tight seal on your hotel pans. And you fucking, and you slam your arms across it and it just fucking completely grates the entire side of your arm. Never use that box, bro. Better be putting what on pizza? The pineapple? It's going in the fried rice. I mean, the only place I had pineapple fried rice was at a Thai restaurant, and it was made by Taiwanese people. So I don't know. I don't really care if it's fucking blasphemy or not. Gordon Ramsay would say it's blasphemy to put pineapple on pizza. I don't frankly fucking care. You know what I never knew? You know what I never knew until I knew, by the way? I never knew that it was worse. Like, you always knew don't grab a hot pan with a wet towel, right? But I never knew that it was worse to get burnt grabbing a wet pan with a hot towel. I didn't know. I had no idea. I would rather grab a fucking hot pan barehanded 100 times over than grab a hot pan with a wet towel. I'm not even joking. So Devify, we have I have commands in the chat. If you put ! recipe in, for clarity, outside of things like the baking, I don't have recipes. I have ingredients lists. There's no specific quantity to anything that I have here. It's a list of ingredients of things that I collectively, when it comes to me, I was a cook professionally for 20 years. Some things I know how to make and some things I don't. But from the cooking streams that I've started doing, we're making things that the community suggests as well as new things that I want to try. So I'm learning how to make a lot of these things on the fly as well. And basically what it comes down to is once I decide on what I'm going to cook for the day, I go and I research what it is. And I'll look at 8 different videos from 8 different people about how they get it and what they came to and what they used. And I'll look at a handful of other recipes about what they used as well. And I collectively form my own opinion about how I want to put that together, understanding that I know the fundamentals of the cooking processes. So, yes. What's up, Tearful? So, if you put ! recipe in the chat, it'll tell you the other commands for the things that we're cooking today. And again, like when it comes to the stir fry, one of the main recipes I saw, like these were all very green. It was using asparagus tips. None of them had celery in it. It was using asparagus tips. It was using broccoli. It was using things like that. Ironically, I have no broccoli, nor do I have asparagus here. I went with, so my stir fry ingredients are going to be my carrots, my julienne onions. I got to think about this now. So my stir fry ingredients in particular are going to be the julienne peppers. It's going to be these. We're going to have the bok choy. We're going to have the celery, the snap peas, the peppers, the onions, and the carrots. And then in my pineapple fried rice, we're going to have pineapple. We're going to have finely diced. It'll be a little bit spicy. I've got some serrano pepper there. We're going to have some tomatoes and some tomatoes, some pineapple. It'll be finished with scallions and red peppers, orange and yellow peppers. It's just what I wanted to eat that goes in it. Just understanding what the flavor profiles of stuff are and understanding that I want some balance in it, right? Soy sauce and stir fries are typically going to be pretty salty. So having something like pineapple and tomatoes in there that's a light, refreshing citric acid type of thing, it'll help cut through that saltiness of the soy. And that's basically what it comes down to. That's how I decide what I'm cooking. We're going to have a salad for Butterfly. She's having broiled lobster tails. So, I mean, there's some kind of contrasting flavors in a way because it's just going to be oven roasted with some salt and pepper on it for the lobster tails. And then a vinaigrette for the dressing. But it's just store-bought vinaigrette, so it's nothing insane. It's nothing crazy. But Edge... I actually didn't have to. Butterfly made rice on like Wednesday or something like that, Tuesday or Wednesday, and I asked her last night. I was like, are you going to use this rice? And she was like, no. And I was like, it should be day-old rice. I think I'm the only one eating the rice, so there's not a ton of rice in there. I probably have way more ingredients prepped than I need to for the rice, but yes, the rice is leftover rice. That is, according to Uncle Roger, that is the fundamental first step in making fried rice. You need to use day-old rice. All right, I'm going to move some of these ingredients off the counter for now. just until we get back to the actual cooking process, the actual preparation process. I'm just trying to give myself a little bit more room. We're going to cut the pineapple. We're about to start cooking. I'm going to preheat the oven here. How long have we been live? This has got to be fucking ready to... What's up, Callie? All right, so we're going to get the counter cleaned off. Hour and a half. Thank you, Sean. Also, sorry, Sean, if I was too snappy. I'll elaborate after. Cute magnets on the bottom. Those are magnets that Butterfly, wifey, bought. My grandson has a big love for Mickey Mouse. No, I am. But I'm only sorry because it was you. My grandson loves Mickey Mouse. Loves Mickey Mouse. I would probably say it's his favorite character. But the Mickey Mouse magnets, the magnet falls out. So there's some Mickey Mouse magnets up top, and the magnet falls out. So Butterfly bought those magnets because he likes to come over and play with them when he's here. All right. The bread is pretty much proofed up and ready to go. I'm going to take a second. We're going to separate the dough. We're going to give it another 10 minutes to proof. Or another, I think it's another 20 minutes to proof. I have to look at it. No. I have to split it now. Give it 10 minutes. Give it 10 minutes to rise up by itself. And then roll it out. And then roll it out on the sheet pan and let it proof there for another 10 minutes. Nah, he knows what it is. He's being aloof. He knows. But he's an IRL friend. So there's more to it than that. I didn't cut the dough. It's not even. By the way, I can tell the ball's bigger here. No, you're soft on the outside. You're soft and pudgy on the outside. Bro, we're both past the age of... Bro, we're both soft and fucking pudgy everywhere. There's no more fucking... Let's stop pretending. Let's stop. That's both of us, bro. There is a day where that thing was... There's a day where you hit your finger into that thing, it might have broke your finger. That day was a long fucking time ago. A long fucking time ago. Aloof. Did I say that wrong? That's a word, isn't it? It's a word. I'm confident that that's a fucking word. All right. The sauce. We're back on the sauce. All right. Right, that's what I thought I was saying. Now you guys made me guess. You made me second guess myself. What's up, Shock? You just had shrimp tonight? Well, mine's a garlic stir fry. You probably had something like shrimp the size of lobster grilled on an open fire while you were sipping on a bottle of whiskey. The dog was running around through the holler. Shock, how are you, bro? Tres Amigos. I'm not going to put the brown sugar away. I'm making two sauces. I know it seems contradictory, but there's going to be two different sauces in a way. I don't know if it's really a sauce, but brown sugar, soy. I have some cornstarch down here to make a slurry. I don't know what to say about that, Luis. Except, hola, ¿cómo estás? I don't know. I don't know what to tell you there, brother. I did not do that on purpose.
Hello, motherfucker.
I wish I had the tool. Hi, Nona. I wish I had the tool that would allow me to just cut the eyes out of this, but I don't. If I did, I would be saving a hell of a lot more of the pineapple. But I don't. So, here we are. Also, if you want to cut the eyes out of the pineapple and you don't have the little tool, by the way, the little tool is probably something like a super tiny melon baller, I think. I just know that there is a tool. I've never used it. We've always just cut off the unsavory eyeballs. It's peaking when I look down. All right, I'm not going to do that right now, but I will do it, Luis. And thank you for that. So, to those of you that don't know, pineapple has a almost completely inedible core. It's very fibrous. It's very tough, especially in relation to the rest of the fruit. So what I've done is I've cut this in quarters, and then I've just cut out... What's up, Damon? And then I've just cut out the inner quarter. I'm sure you could use that for something. If you were doing a juicer or something of that nature, you could use it if you wanted to. I don't. I'm just rough chopping these for, I mean, it's fried rice, really. They're going to go in the pan just long enough to get them hot. We're still going to have some good bite to them. Also, you also have to always quality control. What up, Clark? I don't know if I would say that this is going to be cooked, Luis. As if, for instance, in regards to the recipe didn't call for any crushed pineapple. And I've literally just decided to crush the pineapple in there. Just now. Well, it's been a lot of prep. It's been a lot of prep, Clark. Yeah, well, when it comes to going out to a restaurant, they have all of those things prepped ahead of time. Sometimes days in advance, by the way. You're watching the prepping happen. You're watching the prepping happen live, Clark. So that's an aspect of it. You know? An hour for fast food is fucking insane. Literally, that's the antithesis of fast. We're about time to cook, actually. We're going to turn the oven on. I'm going to put the oven at 425. What is the bread? The bread temperature is 425. Taco Bell's gone downhill since I left. I've never worked there, Clark. Sean, you going to fucking do your moderating duties when it comes to Clark, or are you just going to fucking let him get away with it, bro? Here's all the prep, Clark, by the way. Here's all the prep that would normally be done ahead of time by somebody else, Clark. Okay? Good day, Clark. I don't know. Maybe we do it here instead. I will be, Chefy, yes. Sorry for the mic noise right now, guys. What's up, Titan? I don't know if that's better mic-wise or not. All right, so I'm going to make the fried rice first, and I'm going to use a large pan so I have a lot of room to move the ingredients around in. One of the things I picked up on about making fried rice from Uncle Roger, I'm 100% serious too, is punching the rice so that all the bits get broken up and separated. is a big thing that you want to do. So I'm going to give myself a lot of space in the pan to do so, which is why I have that very large saucepan over there. I've just put a little bit of butter on the. I've just put a little bit of butter on the lobster tail, and a very, very tiny pinch of salt. I don't think that would actually be a good idea. I think in theory it sounds like one, except the mic actually still does technically have a wire on it. I'm also going to put a little bit of water in the bottom of the pan. Butterfly and I don't drink. When I say we don't drink, I just mean that we don't typically drink. Because of that, we don't keep white wine in the house. And I'm certainly not going to buy a bottle of cooking wine and keep that in the house, because that shit will go bad before I'll use it again. So I don't have white wine. So butter, water, and a splash of lemon juice to finish. Babe, are you going to be home to eat this? Or is it going to fucking get cooked and then go cold? So we have some green leaf lettuce. By the way, this will be the, and I take it you want the avocado as well. Are you in chat, babe? Happy Valentine's Day, Harley. A bit of garlic in there. A little bit of garlic in the sauce. We have soy sauce in there. We have brown sugar in there. I'm going to put a little bit of water in there, just to cut through. I also just got a bottle of sriracha. We're going to put that in there. I don't know if you guys remember from the butter chicken recipe, but I had this Kashmiri red chili powder. Kashmiri. It's chili powder, but with a kick. I think it's chili powder specifically made out of picante type of chilies. I want a little bit of bite to this. I don't want this thing to rip anybody's face off, but I would like it if you taste it back here. If you get that spice in the back of your throat. I still want good flavor. So we have some sugar in here, brown sugar in here. We have the soy sauce. Obviously, I put the pineapple in the sauce as well. This is for the shrimp again. I'm going to be starting out with some toasted sesame oil. So that's a very deep and rich, nutty flavor that you're going to get there. Should be a lot of balance. Should be really good. What's up, Sway? The bread needs another 5 minutes of where it's sitting, and then it's going to sit on the counter for about 20 minutes till I put it in the oven. Let's
fucking go.
No, thank you very much for the gifted sub to Foofy. Sway, thank you very much. I'm happy to have you here. I mean that.
Let's fucking go.
And to Titan Cross as well. Titan's in chat, I believe, or he was earlier. He might even be here to say thank you. So for the shrimp sauce, I have crushed pineapple. So obviously some little pineapple juice, a little bit of garlic in here, some brown sugar, some water, and some soy sauce. Also the Kashmiri chili and the Kashmiri chili and the sriracha. Need another bowl. This is going to be for the fried rice. We're going to make another little bit of a sauce here. This one calls for oyster sauce. I've never had oyster sauce. I've never used oyster sauce myself. This is going to be significantly less sauce, by the way. We're not really trying to make this. We don't want this fried rice to look brown. I mean, I don't know what else to say, by the way. We're not trying to color it and make it look weird. We're just trying to give it flavor. So, some oyster sauce, some sesame seeds. I like sesame seeds, so I realized that that looks like a lot. You know, thank you. I appreciate that, Luis. I should, there's a command that people do that allows you to go direct to another site for mobile users so that they don't have to pay. It's not just Apple, by the way. It's any mobile, by the way. It's not just Apple. I think Apple might charge more than anybody else, but don't burn the rice. I didn't burn the rice last time. It was slightly shut up, Noah. I'm putting a little bit of ginger in here. It'll bring some sweetness to it. Noah, you've been working all week with Dad being gone? A little pinch of crushed red pepper. What do you mean run in the snow? What's that mean? Oh, running the show. I misread that. Really? Man stepping up in the world. Love to see it. For those of you wondering, and in case anybody was wondering, or in case anybody's curious, Noah is my nephew. You a bot there is my nephew. Hence the maybe peculiar conversation about what he's doing. Noah is my oldest nephew, actually. I'm just opening the chestnuts, water chestnuts. I love them. Again, it's not something any recipe that I saw called for. Just fan favorite of mine. They really don't taste like anything other than what you make them taste like. All right. Oven's ready to go. Lobster tails are only going to take a minute. I put all this back on the counter just to fucking tell Clark to shut the hell up. And you know what sucks? Is that I need to take it all back off the counter in order to do this bread. Really, really unfortunate that I've allowed this man to troll me into more work. I think I'm going to go straight to gaming, by the way, after this. We're not going to raid out. I only slept 3.5 hours or whatever the hell it was. It was very, very, very little sleep. But I think I'm going to go straight to gaming, and then I'm just going to game until I can't anymore. Tonight's stream will be as long as I can go gaming-wise. So, there is a potential that tonight's stream could end at like 3, 4 a.m. I don't know what time it is now. I'm not complaining as much as educating. I don't know if you were there when I told them. On some level, I don't on some I can. It's part of my job, right? Like this is my job to do this. So if I end up, working a little later, or staying on to do something because Euro, a loyal and generous supporter, asked me to get on for a game because he threw a chow out there. I mean, so be it. I don't really care. It's not that serious to me. And it just means that I have to. It just means that I have to go to sleep a little bit earlier. There is a potential upside here, by the way. The upside of going off a little earlier, is that I've been trying to get to the point where my schedule is with me starting ideally around 6 or 7 p.m. and I've struggled to do so. And this should allow me, if I go to bed at like 4 a.m. or 5 a.m., it could potentially mean that I'm on tomorrow. I might be able to use it to rectify my schedule a little bit, which is ideal. These are not the same size, by the way, but it's not the end of the world. Gonna punch this down. Nothing crazy. Trying to get a little bit of a rectangle shape here. Gonna do this the right way today. The dough still feels a little tight again, but it did last time too. I don't really know why that's the case. But so we're rolling towards us and pushing away, and towards us and away, towards us and away. Pinching hard. Just a French baguette. What's up? I'm bad at tag. I don't know, Dan. So what happened though, Dan? The conversation is that last night after I raided out, I was eating dinner and I stopped into Champ's stream to hang out and say hi. And Champ was on a chow with Euro Broke, or from Euro Broke. And Euro was like, Cook, hop on, one more game. So I did. But one game turned into 3 games. And I ended up not getting to bed till significantly later than I wanted to. You're pinching any air bubbles that you see out of here, by the way. Popping them. Making sure that they pop. You do this as you go, as you roll it along too. I made homemade pizza, although I've never done so with making my own dough, Dizzy. So if you're asking, have I made my own pizza dough yet? No, not at home. I did work in a pizza house for a while, though. This needs to set and proof for about another 20 minutes, which is perfect. So we'll be throwing it in right at the end of the cooking process for everything else. I'm going to generously... No, it's not time for that. The water goes on after. Perfect chocolate TV out of pepperoni. What am I reading? What have I just seen? What does that mean? All right, so the lobster tail's in the oven. We're going to get the shrimp out of the fridge.
Let's fucking go.
All right, we're going to get the shrimp off the counter here. We're going to start cooking. No, we're not doing the shrimp yet. We're doing the rice. We're doing the rice. We preheat the pan. About 3/4 heat. CMG, thank you very much for the raid. I appreciate it. Table for one. Happy Valentine's Day. Kozetsu. Thank you very much. Kozetsu. How we doing, brother? How are you? We're here. You're here just in time. We're about to start the cooking process. I've just thrown the lobster tails in. Most of this stream has been prep work. I'm not going to lie. Fantastic. Fantastic. CMG, how was your stream? Thank you very much for the raid.
Let's fucking go.
Nordeeks, thank you for the gifted sub to I Am Bad at Tag. I appreciate that. Alexa, set a timer for 20 minutes.
20 minutes, starting now.
One of the things that we will be prepping, by the way, one of the things we'll be doing is a little bit of a slurry here. Slurry is a mixture of cornstarch and water. It's typically used to thicken up sauces in Asian cuisine specifically, although I do believe it has the versatility for people that don't. I know it has the versatility for people that have gluten allergies, that don't want to have glutens or whatever the reason is. Maybe you just don't want flour. Maybe you don't like how the flour. I don't know. Typically, most of my food I'm going to use a roux to thicken. In the case of something like this, I just would never. I'm not going to use a roux to thicken something like this. So we're going to mix a little water and cornstarch. It's nothing crazy. I'll have to remix it. I'm probably going to make way more than I need. I did make way more than I need. Because I'm making this as early as I am, you'll see it's going to end up settling down to the bottom. It doesn't matter. You just have to agitate it and stir it back up. Destroyed in Resurgence. Sounds like a typical day on the island. I tried pumpernickel. I tried making pumpernickel rolls last week, Damon. And I probably should have adjusted the cook time and the temperature of the oven accordingly, and I didn't. So the bottoms were actually they were burnt, frankly honest with you. The rest of the bread tasted good, but I used coffee instead of water, and I think it was a little bit bitter. So next time I make it, I'm gonna not use coffee. I'm just gonna use water. We'll see how it turns out. I'm trying to learn how to make them. Ideally, I want to make something typical to the Outback Steakhouse rolls that they serve at the restaurant there. I don't eat there a ton, but when I have eaten there, their rolls with their butter is one of the things I enjoy eating. Everybody's a W. Look at this. Everybody's just loving on each other. All right, so fried rice. The things we need for the fried rice. We need the garlic. We need the garlic and the ginger. The garlic, the ginger, carrots, the onions, the serrano peppers. Again, I wish I had some Thai chilies. I don't. It just is what it is. And the little bit of sesame sauce that I made up to do this. Probably going to use a splash of lemon juice. I'm not going to lie to you. Nothing called for this, by the way. I would ideally have a lime, I think, if I was going to use it, just because it's a little bit less acidic. Lime's a little bit sweeter. The pan is nice and warm. Might be too warm. I hate electric. Cozy has to wait until the rest of us get in for what? Venny actually would, by the way. Listen, when I said a couple weeks ago that Venny would ban me if he could, it was only a very, very slight exaggeration of facts. I fucking hate electric, Luis. It's still too hot, I think. Oh, table for one? Now listen, you guys are all going to have to... You guys are going to have to figure that out amongst yourselves, Harley. I went with toasted sesame oil, by the way. Can smell it already. I'm not going to put it back on the heat because, as I said, it is actually a little warmer than I want it to be. You can hear it popping. That's how you know it's definitely at least hot enough. It's not too hot, but it's hotter than I wanted it to be. I need those carrots to have an opportunity to tenderize a little bit. Jesus Christ, Luis. "45 seconds is being efficient." The comms in chat are fucking wild. So I'm going to let that go for a second. There's my rice beating utensil. I don't know. Just dropped a spoon. I don't know if I would qualify my rice beating spoon as a spadle. It's a slotted spoon, all right. And it's wide like a spadle. I don't know what this is technically called. But a spadle would typically have, you'd be able to scoop liquids with it. Moose, I don't know if that was a good idea, by the way. Moose, I don't know, 100%, I don't know that anybody can flex the ratio that he can. I don't think it's a good idea to try and watch time him. All right. The carrots are actually getting a little color on them. They're starting to brown up a little bit, which is perfect. So I'm going to throw the peppers in. This smells so good, too. It's so nutty. Nah, fuck it. We're just going to throw all the peppers in. We're going to throw the onion in. Luis with the 24 days? Damn, Luis. I respect and appreciate that, Luis. You don't talk a lot to have that much of a watch time, bro. Thank you. You starving? What's up, champ? By the way, in case I didn't say this already, if I did, I apologize. But we're not trying to fully cook these vegetables through. I like to have a little bit of a crisp and a little bit of a bite to them. I don't know if that's typical to fried rice. I don't think it is. But I'm putting the ginger in here. I'm putting some of the garlic in here. And I'm going to put a nice spoonful of the serrano pepper in here. I didn't need to cut the whole thing. I'm not going to use the whole thing. But I'm going to use the rest of the garlic in the shrimp. I still want these veggies to have... bite, crunch, crisp. I don't want soggy, mushy veggies. Champ, if you were here, you could eat. While that garlic browns up, which is only going to take a minute, by the way. While the garlic browns up, I'm just going to wash these couple of dishes real quick. Just trying to stay ahead of the game. You guys know, clean as I go. So, 2 seconds, chat, and I'll be right back on camera. Apologies. So, I can smell the garlic starting to brown, and I can definitely smell the ginger starting. Right, I can smell that sweet aromatic of the ginger. So I'm going to give it a little splash of the lemon juice right there. Not much. Again, not looking to change the flavor. Just looking to give it a little highlight. And the lemon juice will help do that. I would have done it with, again, I would have done it with lime juice if I could. So Bourbon Finder, good comms out of him, but had reminded me that I should be talking about why we do certain things. So you guys see me stirring the pot the way that I am, or stirring the pan the way that I am. The reason that I'm doing that on a big level is because it's just habit to toss things that way, but it's the best way to evenly incorporate things throughout the saute pan. Both heat, flavor, seasonings, make sure all of the ingredients are evenly spread. But tossing it like that, oftentimes accompanied with a pair of tongs or a spoon, really helps to get those flavors incorporated and really helps to make sure that all of your ingredients are evenly mixed throughout in the pan, as well as, again, the heat. You're going to make sure that everything is getting evenly cooked that way. You don't want to flip something over. You don't want to flip something over and have only 75% of it flip over and then the other 75% sit on the pan. It won't cook evenly. It's not good. Cooking version of YY. No, there is actually a technical purpose to it. There is a good technical purpose to doing it. Sincerely. I know you guys are trolling, but no. No, Clark just went to bed, Harley. I don't really have the wok here. I think I need a little bit more oil though. The rice is sticking to the pan. I might give it a little dab of butter. The rice almost immediately stuck to the pan. I think that's two reasons. I think it's because the rice is not, the pan is not hot enough anymore. And I think it's because I don't have any fat. I don't have any non-stick fat in the pan. Yeah. It's stirring better now. I definitely missed the pan. What would I recommend your family to make? Whatever you guys want to eat. So basically, my rice is all evenly incorporated. The vegetables are all stirred up the way I want them to be. I did add way more of this sauce than I think I wanted to add. It's okay, though. I probably shouldn't have added all of it, but we're fine. It's not like it's too much sauce. I just think that I think I wanted it to be... I think I wanted it to be a little more white. Remember, quality control. I'm truthfully not looking to cook the pineapple here. I'm looking to get the pineapple warm. And it's the same with the tomatoes. I'm not looking to cook the... Alexa, stop talking. Why would Alexa start talking now? What do we feel like was said that made her chime in with her 2 cents? So I'm trying to get a taste test here. So I want the pineapple and the tomato. I mean, just the way it is, Dan. All right, this is done. So we're going to pull that off the heat. I'm going to turn the burner off for a minute just to allow it an opportunity to cool off. And get the rice off the stove here. The lobster tail is done. Don't grab the lobster tail with a wet towel. Lobster tails are 100% done, by the way. I don't doubt it. The shell is colored correctly. The tail is shrunk the correct size. I touched it, and it has the proper texture. Pull those off camera and get those off the off the hot pan so they stop cooking. Alexa, stop the timer. I know I should have. I know I should have. 100%. But c'est la vie. Where's my knife? Where's my knife? Where's my knife?
Yeah, I don't fuck with snipers from
The only pan available I have at the moment to put some ice water in the stove or in the oven.
But then I backed away because I was hurt.
Is actually.
And then I said fuck it and went back and shot him in the face.
A loaf pan. So. The reason for the ice is to help soften up the crust. I think it helps the bread bake correctly. It's got something to do with the humidity levels in there. I don't fully understand it. I've seen some people suggest to do it. Seen some people not say anything about doing it. Clark suggested it. And when I made the second time that I made the bread, I did this, and it helped. In my opinion, it helped make the crust significantly less tough to eat. We're going to score it. We need 25 minutes. Alexa, set a timer for 25 minutes.
25 minutes. Starting now.
Now, because we put that ice in there, when we open up the oven, it's going to be very similar to opening up a steamer. I don't know, a steam machine. So don't open the oven and stick your face right in there. Realistically, you shouldn't even do that with a dry oven, but don't open the oven and stick your face right in there because you're going to get blasted with a heat wave, and in this case, you'll get blasted with steam. I don't know what it is, but I swear to God, steam's only 212 degrees, and that shit hits you like it's 1,000. I don't know why, but it feels like 1,000 degrees when you get burnt with steam. It never stops burning when you get burnt with steam. I think I'd rather burn myself on a hot saute pan than I would to touch steam. Steam burns just don't seem to quit. Easy tan. Yeah. We're getting a garbage disposal soon. I just have to afford the damn thing. But in the meantime, every one of these little veggie bits basically clogs up my drain. It's annoying as fuck. I can't stand walking by and seeing the sink full of dirty food-filled water. And the reason it's full of water, it's not full, but the reason the water won't drain is because the damn food's clogging it up. I have a strainer in there too, but it ends up getting in and underneath of it. Just a little pet peeve. I am still cooking, Ty. We're on to the final stages, though. We've got the bread in the oven. We're about to make the stir fry. Now, I kind of talked about this and how we cut up the ingredients, but it's also not realistic to cut up all the ingredients in the same way. I mean, it's just not. So, one of the things that we're going to do here, and this is the beauty of a wok, by the way. The thing about a wok, one of the things about a wok, especially over gas, is that the temperature of the pan changes based on where you're at on the pan. And so a really good wok cook, I don't know how to say that. A really good wok cook, I will be playing Warzone tonight, yes, Ty, will position their food in the pan based on the cooking time of each of those things, how long it's going to take it to cook, where the temperature of the pan is, and you'll put those things up there in different places accordingly when it comes to different ingredients like this. And that's how they come out with evenly cooked food. Obviously, I can't wok it. So a saute cook in a regular saute pan is just going to stagger the ingredients in the order in which it's going to be the longest thing to cook. So as a for instance, I'm going to put the carrots and the water chestnuts into the pan first. Well, I'm going to put the carrots and the water chestnuts into the pan first. Once those have been in there for a minute, I'm going to put the the snap peas and the peppers and the celery in there. And we'll allow those to cook for a minute. Then I'll throw the shrimp in there. And we'll finish it basically at the end like we did with the tomatoes and the pineapple. We'll finish that with the bok choy at the end. I don't want the bok choy to get super wilted and soggy. Okay. No, Demon. I prefer opening the oven and having my glasses fog up too. By the way, they don't typically fog up. When you're in the kitchen, when you're in a professional kitchen and you open up the oven, your glasses are already that hot. It doesn't matter. That said, when you're wearing contacts, and when you're wearing contacts and you open the oven, your eyes get blasted like that, it feels like it shrivels up the contacts on your fucking eyeball. It feels like it shrinks and grabs your eyeball, and then you gotta blink fucking 80 trillion times. That I hate. I think you're more inclined to be trying to, I don't think it speeds up your movement while you're plating. In fact, I'm like 95% confident it does not speed up your movement while plating. I think plating on its own does that, and the only perk that would make sense to speed that up would be Quick Fix. I could be mistaken, but the perk that I prefer to use is Resolute. Resolute is the perk I want to use. As I look at this, I feel like I want that pan. I do want that pan. So we're gonna move the fried rice out of the pan. I'm gonna clean this pan, and we're gonna cook with this pan again. This smells fantastic, by the way. The reason I'm going with the bigger pan, in case you were wondering, I want the room to cook. I want the room to have my ingredients spread out. I don't want things stacked on top of each other, because when they're stacked on top of each other, they don't get the opportunity to cook evenly. If I had left them, if I had decided to cook in that smaller pan, I would have ended up the jumbled mess. Don't get me wrong, they would have still cooked. I would have just had to be, it would have just been more difficult to achieve the desired finish. I have a wok, Ty, I just don't have a gas stove anymore. And even my wok, I'm going to be honest with you, even my wok is not, it's not perfect, because it has this silly handle here. It's not even seasoned anymore. It's been so long since I've used it. But this handle makes it stupid. That said, I did love it. But I'm going to be honest with you, that wok, the home stove doesn't have the BTUs to use that wok effectively. Well, it also means that the likelihood is I'm more likely to burn that handle off of it than I am to actually ever use that handle and grab a hold of it. But a wok is never going to give me, it's never going to give the power and energy that I need to use a wok to the efficiency and effectiveness that you would typically use a wok. I think I can put my cutting board away. Maybe it might be. The salad. Just take it off? Wait, what am I taking off? Did I miss something? Cutting board. Take it off. Did I miss something? I feel like I missed something. I hate electric. This thing smells like it's burning. Like there's something on that coil that's burning. And it smells like shit. We are doing... What's up, Suave? No, we are doing a... We have some broiled lobster tails for wifey. Butterfly has some broiled lobster tails cooking up. We've got some fresh baguettes in the oven for her because she wanted some bread with that, as well as we're going to just throw together a quick salad. I don't love lobster. So for me, I went with a garlic sauteed shrimp and it's going to be a garlic stir-fried shrimp over pineapple fried rice. We do this every other Friday, Suave. Every other Friday we do a cooking stream. Hence the name Cook One For You. I was a cook for 20 years. It is Cook One For You, by the way. I don't care what the fucking TTS bot says. I don't care what my fucking wife says. I don't care what anybody tells you. It is not 14. It is 1-4. 1-4. Cook 1-4. But that's not about you, by the way. I'm traumatized. Okay, see? I mean, you literally just put the 14 in there. Okay. Okay. You know what? Going back to cooking. Fucking hate it here. Too hot. You see that? It's too hot. I'm gonna pour the oil out. Fucking hate electric. Have I mentioned how much I fucking hate electric? Pour the oil out in the sink. Wipe the oil off the pan. It is. It is. I feel like I have so little temperature control with this fucking stove. So little. And then the other thing about the stove, I don't know if you can see it from there, but like these two rings are glowing red and these are like light red. And then the outer ring is black and hardly red at all. Now there's heat coming off the outer ring, but the inconsistency of the fucking heat dispersion with the stove is fucking annoying as shit. And I've had gas my whole life. That's the ring that rules them all out. Ugh. Try this again. There we go. So the oil is moving around the pan, and you'll see a slight smoke come off of it. But you want to see the oil relax, right? Like oil is going to be thicker until you put that heat on it. And you want to see the oil relax and kind of just evenly coat the pan, but not run off the pan too quickly. So we've got that in there. We're going to start out with the carrots and the water chestnuts. Made a mistake. And I'll explain the mistake momentarily. But I need to put the rest of this in there. So that right there is a consequence of not properly draining the vegetables. So I flipped the bowl upside down. I flipped the bowl upside down into a pan of hot grease and I dropped water into the hot grease. Don't do that. Good night, Soka. I mean, it's just part of life, Luis. Sometimes, you know, it just is what it is. But yeah, hot pan. Don't let the grease, or don't pour water into hot grease. Still here, by the way, guys. Just doing that clean as I go thing. Especially today, where I'm planning on just going straight up to gaming. It's really nice to walk down to the kitchen tomorrow and only have a couple of dishes to do. All right, remember, we poured boiling water over them. I think the process would be called steeping. I poured boiling water over the carrots, and I just kind of let that tenderize them a little bit. So we're going to see some caramelization start to happen with the carrots and the water chestnuts. Don't stick your don't stick your hands in the hot pan, by the way. Don't do that. That's dumb things. That's dumb things that people who have no more nerve endings in their fingers do. Putting the celery in there. And the snap peas. When it comes to ratio, you can kind of do what you want. I'm just kind of going by eye here. Do I devein the shrimp? Most shrimp, I mean, you can look at them when you peel them. Most shrimp that you're going to buy out of the store are going to be, you're going to have the option to get them peeled and deveined. These already are. And I checked those when I was peeling the tails off of them. But yes, you should absolutely devein your shrimp. I don't want these vegetables to cook too much. Like with anything else, I like to have that crunch. I don't want the vegetables to be soggy and mushy. So we're going to add these things in. We're going to start the cooking process. But we're basically going to start building the flavors as they're starting to cook. Like the carrots are still relatively, they're still relatively firm. The peas, the snow peas are still relatively firm. The celery is going to still, like, I want to be able to stick my fork into it and have the fork hang on to it. I don't want it to fall off the fork. That's my preference. Some people might like mushy vegetables. And I think there's something wrong with your medulla oblongata if you do. But that's just me. To each their own. I'm not judging you. I just think there's something wrong with you. We didn't ask what, American? You didn't ask what? Indecisiveness about how much I wanted. Table of 6 can keep waiting, Aaron. Keep waiting. The food is coming along fantastically, though, Aaron. No. I guess we don't get to know what you didn't ask. So the shrimp don't take very long at all to cook. The shrimp don't take long to cook. The garlic doesn't take long to cook. So in a minute here, I'm going to cut up this lettuce. And in a moment here, I'm going to drop the shrimp and the garlic in at the same time. It's going to allow those to basically cook and incorporate the flavors in. Pretty evenly and consistently. I'm cutting this lettuce to make the salad for Butterfly. It's just green leaf lettuce, nothing crazy. I'm not sure what kind of dressing she's going to want. I probably cut way too much lettuce just now because I'm not planning on eating a salad. We're going to go over and we're going to put it in the sink. We're going to rinse that out. Veggies are starting to caramelize. I'm going to make a little space in the pan. I don't know if my daughter will stop by and try to grab a plate of this or not. This is definitely way too much shrimp for just me. Way too much veggies for just me. But I'm doing it anyways. Why not?
Welcome. Come on in. Have a seat.
Jay Hobbs, thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate it. How are you tonight? That's tight. I don't know. Tight. GG tight. Alexa, stop the timer. I'm doing fantastic, Hops. Fantastic. Alexa, start a timer for 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Starting now.
Hops, you're new here. I don't know how long you've been watching or if you have been watching for long. Whatever, it doesn't really matter. My name is Cook One For You. About, I don't want to say 8 weeks ago, but this is about the 8th cooking stream now, I think. The name is Cook One For You. I like cooking frag grenades for people, and I used to be a cook professionally for 20 years. We just recently started doing cooking streams every other Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern. We take community suggestions in the Discord, !Discord. I'll give you that if you want to hop in. It's in the cooking streams channel there, if it's of interest to you. Typically, we are playing games and streaming. Call of Duty primarily, unfortunately, because, well, frankly, I'm not very fucking smart. And nobody that's of a significant level of intelligence loads up Call of Duty every day and keeps playing it. I mean, Warzone is just... I mean, you're just not smart if you play it every day. So it's just nothing against anybody that plays it every day. Tight. Grits. Me. But, yeah. You know? We're not here to judge. We're not... We're not here to judge. We're just not smart people. I'm included in the not smart people conversation. But every other Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern. If you have any interest in putting some suggestions in there and coming back through and watching. Also, we simul stream to YouTube. So if you ever want to see one of the streams and you haven't missed it, that started about 3 of the cooking streams ago. The cooking streams will be their own highlighted VODs on YouTube as well. So it's something that you can always go back and reference. Obviously, we do a lot of chit chat. I talk about what's what and why it's what. Tonight, we're doing Butterfly, my wife, for Valentine's Day. She would typically have a lobster. We couldn't get a whole lobster, so I got her some lobster tails. So we've got some broiled lobster tails for her. She wants a garden salad, nothing crazy. And I've got some fresh baguettes about to come out of the oven in about 9 minutes now. What's up, Aunt? Well, interestingly enough, last night we actually got a co-op. I don't know why I'm yelling right now. I apologize for that. Last night we actually got a co-op campaign. All right. We're going to get this out of the pan. The reason we're getting this out of the pan is because, again, the electric heat thing. There's parts of the pan. There's nothing in here is burnt, right? But there are parts of the pan that have started to caramelize further than we would like to have. And I don't want it to ruin the food. And it will ruin the food. So I'm actually going to stop the cooking process real quick. And scrub that bullshit out of the bottom of the pan. And so we haven't put any sauce or anything in the bottom of the pan yet. It's just going to be sugars from the vegetables and shit. But those sugars will continue to stick and cook in the bottom of the pan. And they will ruin the flavor of anything that you have going on in there. And we don't want that. Like I said, nothing's actually burnt. Nothing at all is actually burnt. It's just sticking to the bottom of the pan. I hate the fucking electric stove. No, I mean, I cooked all over. I started learning how to cook when I was a kid. When I was a young kid is when I first started messing around in the kitchen. And then I started, my first job was at Applebee's. I was hosting tables. And I was walking by the kitchen one day, and the dishwasher was full. Full of dishes, but nobody was back there working. So I started washing dishes, and then eventually the chef asked me to start prep cooking, and I started prep cooking. And I worked at Virginia Beach for a while, and then I moved up to Connecticut, and I was working at a couple unknown locations there. Some moderately, I don't know if I would call it fine dining. I would call it like mid-level dining, as well as some high volume fish house stuff. And then I started working at the casino, Foxwoods. And I worked there for about 12 years. I think it was about 12 years. I worked there for about 12 years. I did everything from high volume there to ultra fine dining. And then I got out of there. I've actually even worked at a pizza house as well. I've done a little bit of everything. I do not, Glazok. I've done a little bit of everything. Little of this, little of that over the years. The last place that I worked, I actually went, I got a little bit over working in the restaurant business and not moving up. On the beginning of my career, that was my fault because I was young, I was dumb, I was partying, I was doing all kinds of shit. It wasn't like I ever had a habit or a problem or anything like that, but I wasn't, I used to call out of work healthy and I would go to work sick. I would go out and I'd party and whatever the case might be. And I just wasn't showing up to work. I wasn't like I was great when I was there, but I wasn't always there. So it limited my ability to move up. Eventually, I started working at the casino and I got my shit straight. I stopped calling out of work, but I still couldn't get past a certain level. And I finally, I left the casino. You run across a lot of people who don't care about it as much as you do. And ultimately, I ended up getting out of it. The last guy that I worked for was at a private school. And he told me we didn't have enough time to make chicken stock while he was bitching at me about food costs and ordering a fucking $120 case of chicken base every week. And that was basically it. That was the last guy I worked for. When I have a college degree chef telling me that we don't have time to make something like chicken stock, it kind of makes your fucking head explode. I don't think I ever lost a job. I think I just cut my own legs out from under me. You know what I mean? Like I slowed my progress, but I mean, listen, cooking professionally is a fucking tough go. You're going to work, you're going to be really overworked and underappreciated and probably underpaid for a very, very, very long time in the industry. It's very few people that are going to get in right away and going to be making decent money and actually working decent hours. I mean, it just is what it is. And when I left the industry, I said I was never going to cook professionally again. I said I would never cook professionally again unless my name was on the front door. And ironically enough, now that I've started streaming and my channel wanted me to, my community has been urging me for years to start doing this. Now that I have a kitchen that's got some decent space in it that I'm allowed to work, we just bought a house this year. So now that I'm able to work freely and move around and set up a camera and do some things in it, I went ahead and I started doing it. So we do it every other Friday. I think I just said that. I apologize. But we do it every other Friday. So the next one will be on the 28th. I don't know what we're doing yet. I typically decide over the next few days what we're going to do. I'll post the menu and then I do some research. I've never made any of the stuff that I'm making before. A lot of times I'm making things I've never made before, but I have the basic fundamentals of cooking down. So I go ahead and I research what I have to do and I make the food. I think once you know how to cook, if you have the desire to, you can make anything you want. So if I was making something that I didn't know how to cook next week, if I decided that I was making something I had no clue on how to do, I would go and I'd watch 8 or 10 videos and watch 8 or 10 different people and get their opinions about what they want to do and how they think it should be. And I'd look at a bunch of recipes on it, and then I would formulate my own opinion about it, come up with my own ideas about it. Like this is a garlic stir-fried shrimp. This is a garlic stir-fried shrimp. And not one single vegetable that's in this dish is a vegetable. I didn't see anybody give me this ingredients list. I've got snow peas in here. I've got water chestnuts. I've got carrots and celery. And I just put the veggies that I liked in here. And then I went with a pineapple fried rice. So, I mean, I'm very much in the opinion that cooking is an art. And once you have the basic fundamentals of cooking, as long as you follow a couple, basic fundamental rules and principles of cooking, then I think, you can have a lot of freedom and a lot of versatility with what you want to do with it. You don't have to follow the rules per se. So, I mean, I don't steer too far away from anything that I think is good flavor-wise, but I do shoot for balance. I'm sorry about the ads. Alexa, stop the timer. I'm sorry about the ads. Unfortunately, ads are a part of Twitch. I do have mine set to be I think it's 3 minutes an hour. And I try to break them up. I apologize that they may have interrupted my thought there. I don't know why this seems like it overcooked, but it did. I mean, the crust looks good, but the baguette is a little more, it's a little crispier than I think I would like it to be. I don't know if you have cooking experience, Hops, but I'm learning how to bake on the fly. I'm a cook. I'm not a baker. Baking is a science. I don't love it, but I do like fresh bread, and learning how to make fresh bread has been an enjoyable experience. As for the responding to messages, I don't get to do this if you guys aren't here. You know what I mean? I imagine there's going to come a time. I can't believe I'm saying this. I imagine that there's going to come a time where it's going to be more difficult to me respond to each individual message in a timely manner. That's not something I ever thought that I would fucking say, if I'm being honest with you, but I will still do my best. I think one person who, when I started watching streams that I used to watch, who I think does a fantastic job at it, even though he locks it in the game and you don't typically see him. Another one I see do this a lot is Grits. But one person that was Iron, no matter what, in between games, he would always stop. He would always stop and make sure that not only did he thank each individual subscriber and each individual bits and gifts and anything like that that he got, but he'll read back through his chat and everything that happened in the previous game, and he'll do his best to address as much as he possibly could throughout, the segment in between each game. And so I think that kind of shaped and structured what my mindset was around how I like to stream. It's obviously engaging. It's obviously something that you want. You want people to talk to you. So that's kind of what led me to doing things the way that I do them. That's a part of it. Also, I think if I'm going to be honest, I think I just like to fucking talk, man. Bust my balls about it, but I think I like to yap. I like to yap. I like to engage with people. I think there are few things more enjoyable than having real conversations with people. I typically only warm up on Resurgence. I don't, or I'll wind down the day. Like, if it's been a long, rough day, I might go see if I can do a little solo quads on Resurgence and maybe drop a 20 piece. Maybe drop a 20 piece and beat up on some kids solo quadding. But in this game, I never loved Resurgence to begin with. But in this game in particular, I find Resurgence to be especially annoying. In large part because of the way the game mechanics work. And the fact that all your perks are lootable, the fact that you can buy your guns at the buy station for $2,500 a piece, there's literally negative consequence to dying. And it's worse in Resurgence, and people just play insanely stupid because of it. That people will go so hard to get a kill for you that they don't care if they die. And I just don't find that to be fun. Hi, babe. Dinner's ready, babe. Okay. I don't think I'm going to do a salad for myself. Maybe I will do a small salad. Maybe we do. Rezi, if it was more than a point, I would refund that for you. Thank you for the get up redemption. I'm already up, so I'm not really sure what to do. I could sit down for a minute, I guess. Right, see, and I actually feel like when it comes to Big Map, I actually feel like in this installment in particular, I feel like it's far too easy to come back. I hate the fact that you can buy gulag tokens at the buy station. I don't think we should be able to buy gulag tokens. I think that there's negative consequence to dying in this game, and I don't like it. I despise it. In fact, so I think it should be flipped. I think the current spawn rate of gulag tokens should be flipped with res flares. No, you're good, Rezi. You're absolutely good, Rezi. I appreciate you sending any redemption. Thank you. You did nothing wrong. I was having some fun with it. Quality control, by the way. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't even want to plate this. I don't even want to plate this up. I hate this. Like, plating something like a salad feels so dumb. All right. Hops, this sounds like a cop-out. Moose, are you still here? I'd love to hear your answer to this. But it's not. My favorite thing to cook isn't a particular thing. My favorite thing to cook is for you to tell me something that you don't like and me to prepare it in a way that you enjoy eating it. That is one of the most satisfying things that I have ever done, and it's one of the most satisfying experiences that I can convey to you. I've got a few experiences of this with myself as well. No, I got you, Broody. It's okay, Broody. We can talk about it. I'll get right to you, Broody. I'll answer it. But I have a buddy, Beerman. His name is Beerman in chat. I have a buddy named Beerman who hates vegetables. Can't stand vegetables. Like, across the board, he hates vegetables. And the first time we met up, and I knew this, so I made steak and sauteed mushrooms. And the first time we met up, he says, I'm going to cook dinner. And if somebody hates vegetables, the last vegetable on earth that I think you can possibly get somebody to eat if they don't like vegetables is probably going to be broccoli. So that's exactly what I cooked for him. And I know it seems something simple like broccoli, but I made broccoli al olio, just, correctly cooked, properly blanched, al dente, olive oil, garlic, nothing crazy, just highlighting the flavors of the vegetables. And he ate it, and he enjoyed it, and he'd eat it again. Somebody else who didn't like guacamole, supposedly, and I made guac for him. I used to dislike scallops until I had them prepared myself correctly. I had always had them overcooked. They were always rubbery and bouncy, so I didn't like them. And then when I started working at the casino, somebody made sauteed scallops for me correctly, and I realized that it was never the scallops that I had a problem with. It was always that they were just not properly cooked. And so there's a great level of satisfaction in getting somebody to enjoy something they don't like. I've made my own dishes. The favorite dish I've created is a pan-seared Chilean sea bass topped with an orange pineapple and pico de gallo. I also put that on a bed of risotto, which typically is made with chicken stock. I made it with orange juice, pineapple juice, and chicken stock, but there's a very light citric flavor to it. And I finished it up with some herbs and some coconut milk so that the citrus it's light and refreshing, but it's not like over the top in your face, like drinking, lemon juice type of thing. So it's not too forward with the citrus. So it really smooths it out, mellows it out. It's probably the favorite dish I've ever invented. Do you not like venison? Or do you like venison? Broody, tonight's meal, butterfly. Butterfly's having lobster tails. Unfortunately, we couldn't find any whole lobsters locally. So Butterfly's having lobster tails, oven roasted lobster tails with fresh baguettes with fresh baguette and I am having a garlic shrimp stir fry over pineapple fried rice. And a simple garden salad. Nothing insane. I hate plating food like this, by the way. Even the fried rice. Even the fried rice plating is going to be because I'm being forced to plate it type of thing. Broody, how you been? Hey, John, thank you for the water. I don't. If you want, so this is what I do. So I just started doing this, and I'm going to be honest with you. Easy has actually suggested that I should do something like that. If I've repeated this, I apologize. But if you put ! recipe in the chat, it'll show you. When it comes to cooking, hoppers, again, that creative license that I was talking about, I believe in that fundamentally. So I don't follow recipes. When it comes to baking bread and baking things, you have to be very scientific. You have to be very precise. And I don't think that you have to do that when it comes to food. So when it comes to my quote unquote recipes, what I have is ingredients lists. I go and I watch people. These are some of these things I've made before, some I haven't. So for instance, the pineapple fried rice. Never made it before. I've never made this garlic stir fry that I made. But I watched about 8 or 10 people make their version of whatever they wanted, and then I formulated my own preference on what I like. So that's why I have celery in it. I have not one recipe called for bok choy, not one recipe called for, I don't even know what else I have in here. Not one recipe called for bok choy or water chestnuts, but I put those things in here, or carrots. But I put those things in here because those are the things that I like to eat and I want to eat in this dish. So I don't have an exact quantity of anything. I just had bowls of everything sitting around. I just prepped up the bowls of everything, and as I was at the pan, I don't know if you saw me, but I threw some in, and I looked at the pan, and I was like, nah, I need some more of that. So I put some more in. I don't love the idea that we need to be limited in cooking by structured recipes. I just don't think that it's a fundamental part of the cooking process. I realize that probably doesn't sound like I answered the question, but the spirit of what I'm trying to say is, I don't. I have the exclamation mark recipe command. I have that, as well as the fact that if you're that's in chat, by the way. If you put exclamation mark recipe, it'll tell you the ingredients that I'm cooking that day, for those meals. And then the other thing is, I have my Discord channel. Thank you, Ty. I have my Discord channel where not only do we get the suggestions from the community about what they would like to see me cook the next day or the next week, but I also post photos, which is why I'm going through the tedious process of plating this food up, because I don't like taking pictures of food. I cook food to eat food. I don't cook food to look at food. But it's why I'm going through the process of plating up the food in the way that I am. But if you wanted to join the Discord, I will have photos there as well. And I'm always available. If you drop a message in there and you want an idea about something, and I have an idea about something, I can give it to you. But no, I don't have any. This is something I would love to see this kind of continue to blossom and grow as part of my streaming career and part of the things that I'm doing with the channel. And maybe I'll get into like getting a website and posting some recipes and things like that. I don't know. Part of me doesn't want to seem to come across pretentious or anything. Even this, it's my fundamental ideas when it comes to cooking this is to give you guys ideas. And I mean, maybe help somebody who might be afraid to try cooking cook something for the first time. Like, I think most of us are capable of cooking good food at home. You may not be capable of going out and cooking professionally, but I think you can cook and make good food at home that's relatively affordable if you just learn how to do a few fundamental things. Hops, the channel in Discord is called the Food Channel. No, it's called the Cooking Streams. You'll see food photos, particularly from me and Sheffy. Sheffy's also a former cook. I don't think Moosh has posted anything in there. Also a former cook. Sheffy is actually a former chef, I believe. But thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
Can you put these salad?
Here's your salad.
Jesus.
It's too big.
Maybe a damn.
Sorry, guys. Wifey just walked in the house. And I know how much everybody wants to see her, but she won't come on camera. So she's right there having a chat. She just gave me chocolates and a kiss for Valentine's Day. So yeah, Hoppers, I just, yeah, I'm down. And so Hoppers, if you wanted to, coordinate with me as a, for instance, say the next cooking stream next week. I'm sorry, not next week, the 28th, right? If you wanted to coordinate with me, I could tell you what we're cooking, and I could write my ingredients list early and ahead of time. And then, I'll be live at 5 p.m. on the 28th to do the cooking stream. So you could, typically what I do is I come up with what I'm cooking, and then I sit down and write an ingredients list, and I decide that I'm going to do this, this, and this. We go out and we shop like Wednesday or Thursday before the stream. And then I go live and I start prepping the ingredients. So you can cook along with me. Obviously, you can see that this is usually a 3 or 4 hour process, not because it takes 3 or 4 hours to cook it, but because of this. because I'm talking to you guys, because I'm taking my time, because I'm interacting. In a restaurant environment, all of these vegetables would already be cooked. They'd already be cooked. They'd already be cut. They'd already be prepped. They'd already be ready to go. And I would just have to throw these things together, and I could do it in 5-10 minutes. But I don't know. It's part of the process. I feel like part of the reason that this is successful is because people want to talk about it. They want to have conversations like this. So I'm okay with doing it like this. And I know, like, the guy Chef Reactions, you know, maybe he sees one of my videos and he'd be like, shut up, just get to it already. But I'm not telling you how to cook in this case. We're doing a cooking stream together, you know? We're hanging out, we're having a chat. So I'm not concerned with it being as fast as everybody wants it to be or needs it to be. And he may not look at what I'm doing and be a dick about it. I don't think he's a dick anyway. I think he's fucking hilarious. But Chef Reactions, you ever seen him? He does TikToks and YouTube shorts, but he watches people. He watches people cooking.
You didn't make extra shrimp, did you? I wanted to ask you.
For what?
I wanted to eat a couple.
There's shrimp. I made the whole bag. Yeah, what kind of dressing do you want? I have no idea. Is it not in the fridge? There's 3 shrimp here. Do you want more? If you do, it's fine.
That's fine.
No, if you do, it's fine. I need to pull them off my plate after I take the picture.
I just wanted a few. That's perfect.
There is a little picante to that.
That's all.
There is a little picante. Not much, but there is a little. Love you, Alpha. Thank you very much. All right, John. I don't think I'll remember that when I see you in chat, though. I'm always going to call you Hops. It's just how it reads. It's a shorthand thing that I do. We just finished. Butterfly just walked in. Oh, it looks worse than it is. It's actually perfect.
My dressing is in that cupboard or down there.
What is it?
I think it's in that cupboard. It's in the glass.
The bread is actually fucking perfect. It came out and it looked so dark and it was so hard. I thought it was going to be fucking shit. But the crust has softened up nicely. Part of me wants to rip it in half so you guys can hear this. Shay, thank you very much for the raid.
I don't find it spicy, but it has a really nice flavor.
I didn't say it was spicy. It's just got... It's here. Actually, it's a dog shit knife. It's Faberware. It's just a generic dog shit knife. But I think all serrated knives are dog shit. This is so good. I have to let you hear the crunch. It's so good. What's up, short grams? Fresh, warm bread is fucking... Oh. It's so fucking good. Sorry. I love bread. Butterfly had lobster tails. There really isn't, Damon. Butterfly had lobster tails. Short grams. With a garden salad. Nothing crazy on the salad. And I am having pineapple fried rice. I'm sorry. Garlic shrimp stir fry with pineapple fried rice. Thank you, Hops. I appreciate it. I do. We're typically gaming, as I'm sure you know, but we're also going to finish painting my stream room on stream. Which you might go, what? We're going to watch this guy roll paint on the wall? But I painted a replica of Starry Night on one of the walls. And I'm going to continue the theme all the way throughout the room. My office is going to have Starry Night on one wall. And then I'm going to paint in the same style, but we're going to go through dawn. We're going to go from Starry Night to dawn to full on daylight on the third wall. So I can't do the fourth wall because it's got sound pads and stuff on it, but we're going to end up painting that on stream as well. The bread was so good. It came out and it was so hard and it was so dark. I was so worried. Yeah, look. I thought it was going to be hard and it's good. All right. We got to take some pictures.
That's good.
I'm not going to be able to read chat for a minute, guys. I'm not even going to be able to take a picture for a minute because I don't know where my fucking camera's at.
Going straight to gaming.
I'm going to eat. I don't know how to pull this off. I'm probably going to hang out here and eat half of this and talk. Yeah. I don't even want to take a picture of this fucking salad. I hate this. It's just a plain ass, boring salad, man. It just sucks.
How come yours looks pretty? You have cheese on it? What the hell?
You want cheese on yours?
That's good. Thank you.
We're going straight into gaming. I'm not going to stop the stream. I have it set up where I'm not stopping the stream. I'm fortunate that I was able to kind of, with a small purchase here and a small purchase there, like the camera that you're watching me on is actually my wife's old cell phone. So it's a decent quality camera. So we're on the cell phone there. I actually got really good wireless microphones for a pretty decent price around Christmas. So that's how I'm talking to you. And because there's something that allows me to broadcast the camera to my computer via a browser source, we're actually streaming from the streaming computer upstairs anyways. So essentially all I have to do is walk upstairs and change scenes, disconnect the microphone that I have, and plug my camera in. I need to get an adapter, by the way. I need a USB-C to USB adapter, babe. I don't know why I'm telling you. I should just order it. I don't have Prime anymore. I will. But I'll just be able to push a button on my stream deck to swap scenes, and we'll be streaming right on the streaming setup upstairs gaming.
Welcome. Come on in. Have a seat.
Smokey, thank you very much. Smokey, now that you're following me, you're gonna stop killing me in the game. We have a friendly ceasefire in the game now.
You gonna stop killing him?
Smokey's. I don't know if I can kill Smokey. Smokey, thank you for the follow. The last time I ran into him and Godku came running up the fucking stairs and just annihilated my shit. And then he shot my body. What?
Good.
gotta get gooder.
I gotta get gooder. Smokey, in case you just got here. Well, Draco, you just got here too. So Valentine's Day, Butterfly likes lobster. We couldn't find lobster locally whole.
Let's fucking
Smokey
go.
with the gifted sub, first day in. Thank you very much, Smokey. We couldn't find whole lobsters live locally, so she ended up getting 2 lobster tails. We made her lobster tails. I made fresh baguettes. Made fresh baguettes because she wanted bread. And then for myself, I'm not the biggest fan of lobster. Like, I'll eat it, but I'm never. If you would leave a pile of shrimp in front of me or a pile of lobster in front of me, I'm gonna pass on the lobster unless it's knuckles. But I made a garlic stir-fried shrimp over a pineapple fried rice. So this is mine. And also we had a garden salad. I will be posting pictures in the Discord momentarily. Thank you, Smokey. We do this every other Friday. I don't know if it's of interest to you or not, but we do it every other Friday. In the Discord, we have a cooking channel. It's called Cooking Streams. We take chat suggestions, and whether I know how to make it or not, we figure it out. Did you ever cook professionally, or it's just something you like to do at home, Smokey? What?
I'm so hungry.
This is so good. You want a bite? Wow.
No, wait a minute. I just picked the right one.
Wifey won't come on camera.
My mouth is that big.
She's not coming on camera, Draco. No chance.
Oh, that's really good.
It's really good.
It's got some spicy.
Hmm?
It's got a little kick to it. A little bit.
I don't want to gas myself up too much here, but for my first time making a stir fry from scratch, I'm fucking happy with it. Wow, Smokey, I never went to school. I learned on the job, but I wouldn't say self-taught. But I love food. I just started cooking again myself for these cooking streams. For the most part, the only time I cook at home is when we're making steaks or something, but Butterfly takes care of me. I find it difficult to find time to do anything other than stream.
Let's fucking go.
I'm so invested into making this work that I'm essentially awake. I'm streaming, or I'm doing something related to the stream, even if that's just hanging out in somebody else's chat, showing support and showing love. I'm invested in streaming. Fuck off, Venny. Yeah, and he just said I hadn't cooked since I fucking left Taco Bell. I'd never worked at fucking Taco Bell, by the way. Never. Demon, thank you for the gifted sub to Smokey. Never worked at Wendy's. Or Taco John's. What the hell is Taco John's? Is that even a thing? I'm on controller, Hops.
No.
Believe me, nobody wants to watch me play on mouse and key, bro. They barely want to watch me play on controller. This is so good. What? You're glad I'm eating? Benny, I may not be around in the morning. I don't know if you heard me say that. Benny, can you ban anybody talking shit about me having used to work at like IHOP or anything like that? Yourself included? Thanks. The mod that wants to ban everybody, including myself, won't ban anybody on my behalf.
I want to hear. Not for that.
This is bullshit. Hops, I played Sniper Elite last night, and at one point I picked up the mouse and key because you can just freely swap it back and forth. And I understand it's a different game, but I think the aiming on mouse and key is significantly more satisfying, and I don't even have a good mouse. And I think I could do the aiming just fine. I can't remember where the hell W is to save my life when I have to look at the keyboard to do anything with the keyboard. Which is funny because I can type without looking at the keyboard all day long. But when it comes to gaming, I can't make my brain register that this is forward, this is left, this is right. It just doesn't.
You gotta spend time doing it.
I'm not even fucking close to Joe, bro. That's insane. I mean, maybe I play Borderlands on mouse and key. Commit to learning it. He's always nice, Harley. He's never said anything mean to anybody except me.
Who's that? Oh, okay, so
I promise you, Harley, if you only knew the things,
Benny always nice. What are you talking about?
if you knew the things that Benny wants to say,
What's up?
Benny's being nice.
Benny's Benny nice. Benny is Benny.
The PC, it's funny. So many people want to go to PC and all the big name pros want to go back to console. But it's not for performance. They want to go back to console because of the anti-cheat. The irony is that going to console isn't going to stop the cheating. Yeah, but you can cheat on console now.
You can still play with people that are cheaters anyway. It doesn't matter what you've got.
That's temporary, Draco. I promise you. The moment cheat providers start losing money because everybody's going to console, guess what they're going to do? They're going to figure out how to make it easy to cheat on console.
It doesn't matter. It's cross-play. I get it.
Because 90% of the cheaters are on PC. Because it's harder to cheat on console.
On console, you still play with people on PC.
They shut off crossplay on console.
And shut off.
And ranked on all consoles now.
Probably do that.
Draco, understanding that I'm not the most computer savvy person in the world, they have reverse engineered Ricochet. Every time an update drops, they're fully prepared with the new perks and everything else that goes into the game. I don't think they're going to brick up consoles, bro. The people that are providing the cheats at an epic level know what they're doing.
I mean, honestly, they're better than the game developers because they can't fix a fucking thing to save their life. So, you know, it's bad.
Sorry, Benny, I got sidetracked. That's what I was trying to say. I am going to go up and stream. I only slept about 3.5 hours. I'm going to go up and stream, and I might be off at like 4 a.m. I'm going to be off early, way earlier than I normally am. There's a good opportunity for me to fall asleep at a respectable time tonight and rectify my schedule and hopefully be live at 7 p.m. tomorrow. Obviously, knowing that's where I would like to be live on a consistent basis. So I think I'm just going to stretch right now. I'm not going to go take a nap. I'm going to stay awake until I crash. So I won't be back on until tomorrow night.
My phone ringing.
I get that. I get that, Draco, but that's a risk with any of it.
Hi, how are you?
All right. I mean, we beat it, Ty. I'd be willing to check out the multiplayer, though. Or going with the campaign and allowing enemy humans to join. I need to ask you guys, though, what the plan is here. Whatever your thoughts are works for me, by the way. I want to finish eating, but I'd like to sit down and do it. So I would like to go upstairs and do that. That said, I don't want you guys to have to sit here and watch me eat. So I'm wondering, should we go upstairs, turn the gaming PC on, and start watching, like, I don't know, review videos and commenting? Should we go do some spectating content? Maybe I load up the game and I drop in and die, and we spectate and I yap off camera while I eat. What do you guys think? What is sufficient? What is ideal? Okay. I think I'm going to go upstairs and I'm going to disconnect the mic, the wireless mic, and I'll get the camera on. Is everything okay? Tell Biggie to go live playing Warzone and spectating him. That's not a bad idea. I don't know what Biggie's up to, though. So I'm going to go upstairs. I'll disconnect the mic. We'll get the camera hooked up. We'll switch over the stream. I'll load up the game. And then I'll leave you guys watching. I'll leave you guys spectating for a minute. Yeah, probably. I'll leave you guys spectating for a minute while I come downstairs, bring my food upstairs, and we'll get everything all situated and sorted out. Camera's still on, but I'm leaving the room. All right. I'll be right back, guys.